The biggest things about environmental justice is actually living in environment and living around an environment where you can see the green, where you can see plants, where you can see high-rise trees. The unfortunate thing is that in our townships, in our impoverished communities, you don't often see the type of nature that you would see in urban areas where people are actually able to appreciate these small things in life. And so when you don't see these things around in your communities, obviously you're not going to have the same type of empathy for someone who might be seeing this on a daily basis and who might want to protect a rainforest and things of the like. You are faced with not that higher standard of living as opposed to somewhere else in this country. We are faced with gangsterism. We are faced with every day seeing people not having enough to even come by, living from hand to mouth. It's very difficult then to focus on something like climate change. For at least 10 years of my life, we lived with our grandma in a house where there were 17 people with 3 bedrooms only. The thing that just kind of got me through was wanting to get out of that, because I knew I'm either going to get out of this if I go live on the streets or if I actually work hard. And I think obviously the latter was the better decision for me. My biggest motivation is to get my family out of the township. And my second biggest motivation is to ensure that the generation that comes after me don't have to experience what I did as a kid. So I'm the first one from my family to go to university. I never thought that I would actually go as far as being in university. My goal was to finish matric because that was the standard that was set. The first time I fully understood income inequality, first time I really fully understood race relations in South Africa was when I went to university. Even when it comes to things like environmental injustices, I just thought that illegal dumping such was a thing, and I just thought people did it because they had no other option. I never knew that you could actually contact your counselor to come and help and all of those things. So when I got all of the education that I needed to fully integrate into understanding policy in South Africa, I became more aware of how I needed to adjust myself into the activism space. So the process for today was basically to try and get more people, specifically from the Western Cape side, who were going to join the drafting of the document that we're going to hand over to the city of Cape Town. But I think it's still important to try and get people to be involved. And I think education in that context, to kind of conscientize people about their surroundings and make them aware of who they are, where they come from, and certain things that are happening in our country is very important in molding future and upcoming activism from very early age, and it needs to start from that grounding slip.
Okay, so I'm Lisakhanya Mathiso. I'm actually 17, turning 18. Every individual has a way of thinking. We are all very unique and we all have very unique skills. And if you combine those unique skills together, we could actually make something that's tangible, something that's solid, something that can benefit the whole of us.
People are afraid, and I was afraid to speak up because I had thought that my opinions weren't valid. I thought that my opinions were wrong. The more people realized what I was saying, and the more my opinions were being recognized. And after that, I kind of got the feeling that, wait, if I speak, I could actually affect change. If people see it in this view and in this light, I think there will be a lot more young people who's going to affect change in the near future.
I could say that the youth is very angry, like very, very angry, because they are in demand for change.
One of the things that needs to happen is that there needs to be a collaboration between those who have been living on this world for a long time, who are in power, and young people. And I say this because elderly people have more knowledge on where they've come from. Young people have more knowledge on what they've been going through and where they want to go through. So it's very important to ensure that you have young people put in these places of decision making so that they can ensure that there are more people actually taking control of their future. But more than that, young people are often the ones who are facing the things on the ground, and so they have a more practical approach to addressing things like climate change. Scientists, decision makers, yes, perfect. We need everybody's help in this, but we also need to ensure that we put the human perspective into addressing climate change. And that is what a lot of young people can actually offer to the table.
Like we learned how to deliver his speech is right. I'm very positive that we're going to get our voices heard, and we're going to get the change that we are longing.
We need leaders going to be affirmative in viewing climate change, number one, as real, but also more than that, in viewing that climate change in itself is something that affects people who are impoverished even more than those who are living in suburban areas, and fully understanding these inequalities and how climate change affects these inequalities. We are living in a world that's ever changing. A lot more people are becoming open-minded, and just moving forward from where we've been as a society to where we're going to now, I think I'm definitely optimistic that we are going to have a leader, not just in a country like South Africa, but in every other country where people are going to be more open-minded in how they address things. And that's something that personally I'm really excited for. My name is Caleb K. I'm 23 years old. I live in Cape Town, and I care a lot about the environment in our community.